Hey, hey! Welcome to another episode of Midnight Quest, where tonight we are continuing our hero's journey to become worthy opponents of the evil Dread Lord Zargon. We are only a few quests away from the end of our first book, The Coming Storm. That book is, of course, book 1 out of 14, which means we have literally more than 100 more quests in this campaign before it is finished. So I guess we better get playing pretty fast. Tonight we are going to be following a group of heroes into a mysterious castle built by a wizard named Ollar, who, to no one's surprise, became lost. Although at least tonight we're not looking for the guy, because he didn't work with the Emperor, so the Emperor doesn't care what happened to him, essentially. No, we are looking instead for the gold mine that his castle was built on top of. Gohan says, a warlock? Ooh, yeah, maybe so. I don't know. Either way, this guy's disappeared. But he built his castle on a gold mine, and that's what we're going to look for. Good to see Justin Paulette and Gohan in the chat immediately tonight, as always. Don't forget, if you're hanging out in the stream tonight, don't be afraid to throw something in the chat so we know you're there. We always end up striking up some interesting conversation, and as always, I'm looking forward to getting into that stuff. Justin says he was the one who got away. Yes, indeed. Oh, man. Oh, don't forget, you can catch all previous episodes of Midnight Quest over on the Midnight Quest YouTube channel. You can catch all the quests and the painting streams over there, and of course, we would appreciate all of the content creatory stuff, like subscribing to YouTube and liking the video and following here on Twitch and all that sort of stuff. Bohemius is here too. All right, the crew is all here. That's awesome. Yes, we are growing slowly but surely, and it's very good to see. So thank you to everybody who has supported us already, and thank you to the future supporters, hopefully. We're looking forward to getting more and more people in here so that we can play as much as possible. That'll be super, super awesome. If you have any suggestions or questions about lore or questions about game mechanics or just want to chat, we will immediately stop what we are doing and discuss, even if it means that we have to be sequestered, isolated away from all the news and social media and family, all of that stuff, while the court pays for our lodging and meals, or I guess in this case it would be Mentor paying for the lodging and the meals. We're going to figure it out and get back to you with an answer that you will be satisfied with. Yes, indeed. We are flying through this stuff. I can't believe we're almost through this first book already. But that is good. Nothing wrong with that. We're going to be getting to some more and more and more interesting quests. Don't forget, we are down here questing every Friday night, Saturday night, Monday night, and Tuesday night, and then painting streams on Sunday nights and Wednesday nights, leaving you only Thursday night to stand on a corner in Winslow, Arizona. Only one night to woo that girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford who is slowing down to take a look at me. So I guess you better get her attention. Yep. We've got some quests set up to get taken care of before we can get in, so let's get in here. Oh, yes. I need to add that to my whole thing. Justin Paulette says, you can see the clips I've been making, and soon they will be turned into TikToks and Shorts. Yes, indeed, that is right. Those are all available on Twitch right now. There's a whole bunch of them. Previously, there was only one clip of me getting scared by a massive spider. Now there's a whole page full of them, so definitely go check all of those out. Okay, let's see what we need to do here. Let's get our music started. There we go. And let's get our heroes picked. So longtime viewers know that we have a large group of heroes. After last time's quest, we now have 11 heroes in our ranks, but only 4 heroes can go on a quest at a time, so we are using these Beatles cards to choose 4 random heroes. These cards line up with a character randomizer on the wall up here behind me, so that we can try and keep everybody going on a relatively same number of quests. I would imagine we will be seeing our brand new hero Morkai in tonight's quest. Justin says I'm actually editing the spider one right now. Oh, that's good. I still never found that guy. I don't know what happened to him. He's gonna pop out and scare me at the most inopportune moment. I know that's how it goes. All right, first hero on the quest tonight is the Jack of Hearts, which is, Hogard Redmantle the Dwarf. This is one of the newly painted heroes. Here he is. So if you go back a couple of painting streams, you'll see Savannah painting this guy. I think this is his first quest.
I get him off stream.
Oh, that's right. She did this guy off stream. So this is probably the first time you guys are seeing this guy, other than I think I did show him off.
And I showed him in my last stream.
Right. So this is going to be his first quest as a painted hero. Next is the 9 of Diamonds, which is Paya the Monk. Oh boy, we're having a whole bunch of painted heroes. This is also a recent addition as far as painted heroes. Now this one I know was on stream. So you go back a couple of streams ago, you'll see the entire process of painting Paya the Monk. I believe this is also her first quest as a painted man. Next we have the 4 of Hearts, which is Valirna the Elf. I don't think she's painted yet. Here she is here. I feel like we just saw her recently. Was she in the last quest? Or maybe 2 quests ago? And finally... Yes, okay, I thought so. The 3 of Diamonds is indeed Mordecai Oron, the wizard. Our brand new wizard. Here he is. The heroes actually rescued him in Saturday night's quest. He had gotten himself into a sticky situation, and tonight he is going to be joining the heroes officially. We'll get these out of here for now. Now hopefully this won't be a bad thing, because this is one of those quests that traps the heroes away from each other. So he is almost definitely going to have to fight roomfuls of monsters on his own, and hopefully that doesn't mean bad things for him. Okay, let's get their character cards here too. Here's Hogard. There's Valirna. There's Mordecai. Who are we looking for? Paya. Her card might be near the bottom. Oh, that's the male monk. Oh, it's literally the bottom. Yeah, there we go. What do we got? Oh man, we're getting the spam chat out really early today. What in the world is that name? Incumbent Commemoration VPB. That is a very inventive name you got there, Spambot. But you're pushing up my chat numbers, so good job. Okay, we're gonna need spells tonight, so I'm definitely gonna get those character cards out of the way for now. Let's get their character sheets as well. Yeah, so Mordecai's right on top since he's the new guy. Here's Valirna. Okay, she was on 2 quests ago. I knew we'd seen her fairly recently. Hogard and Paya. Paya is getting to be a very experienced hero. I feel like we are seeing her all the time. Okay, loadout. Stuff we can get from the armory. Fairly obviously, we need to get Mordecai up so that he is not lagging behind everybody else, especially with the knowledge that there is a good chance he's going to get trapped away from everybody. We want to gear him up so that he's not going to die. Okay, let me grab my armory here. Now we've got Hogard for trap disarming if that is necessary. So we don't need to worry about that too much. Hogard also has dwarf disarm. So that's good. So Hogard has long range, Valirna has long range. We could get Mordecai a wand. That's probably a good move to get him some long range. Paya cannot have long range, at least at the moment. That's a skill set thing she has to build. And the main other thing that we're kind of missing there is the chainmail. The chainmail is kind of the thing. Wouldn't be a bad idea to get Hogard a battle axe, but obviously that's a pretty expensive item there. Let's go ahead and pull up my calculator so that I don't have to do any math on camera. And thanks to, well, basically thanks to you guys in the last quest, we have a pretty good amount of gold. Now, we would have had that gold either way, but you guys voted for the heroes to go ahead and get that gold, despite the fact that I forgot to give it to them. So we've got 1,425 gold coins to spend, which is a pretty good amount. We shouldn't be running out too much. So a wand for the wizard is going to be 180 coins, like barely anything taken off there, so we'll go ahead and mark that on Mordecai's paper. The wand is going to give him 2 long-range dice. We definitely need to get him defense too, because his defense is 1, and that is not doable. So at the very least, we'll give him a helmet. Now again, in regular Hero Quest, wizards can't have helmets. That's something I changed just so that the wizards can have decent defense. At some point, we might do kind of like the crossbow shortbow thing that I've got going on to give the wizard something a little bit more wizardy sounding than a helmet. But yes, we reduced base attack and base defense to 1. So if they don't have armor, they really have garbage stats. So that's at least going to boost his defense dice up to 2. And we still have a little more than 1,000 gold. So we could get a couple of chainmails here to really set ourselves up well. I don't think there's any point in getting Hogard chainmail. He's got a helmet and a shield. Now he'll have to get rid of that shield eventually. I think I don't remember, Bohemius might be able to chime in on this. I don't remember if this is something I changed or not, but I made it so that you can't use a shield if you have a battle axe. The battle axe is big, you have to use both hands. And that also helps balance the defense stats. So eventually he'll have to either give away that shield or sell it, but the dwarf will benefit more from plate mail than chainmail. So let's not bother getting him something he's not going to use very long. Don't let the monk have chainmail. But we could get Valyria and Mordecai chainmail, and that would use up almost the rest of our gold and push both of them up to 3 defense dice. That's probably a good idea. I think we should do that. Okay, marking chainmail on both of their papers, and then, as I mentioned, that is going to push both Valyria and Mordecai up to 3 defense dice, which means we are looking pretty good going into this, and that is going to leave us with 115 gold. I'm about to go use attack dice on my dog. If she does not stop scratching at that door. She came down here with us, and then she wanted to go back up, and now she wants to come back down. Bohemia says battle axe can't be used with the shield, but the crossbow, yes. I didn't know if you changed that. Yes, the crossbow can be used with the shield, yes. It was the battle axe that I couldn't remember if I changed or not. Okay. Yeah, we got a good loadout going here. Okay, so let's get spells and skills. The dwarf doesn't need anything. Paya the monk gets all of her monk elements. So, as always, she gets 8 cards. These are directly tied to 4 elemental abilities that the monk has. It's the same elemental abilities you hear about in most things like this of water, air, earth, fire. I don't remember the order they're said in the Avatar show, but I feel like I should learn that. She has 2 cards, 2 for each element. If she uses 1 card in the element, it gets rid of both. She can only use the element of fire if she's used all of the other ones. She can, if she wants, at any point during the quest, spend a turn meditating, and that will give her all of her skills back. But that's both actions gone. She can't do anything, and she can't defend on the following monster's turn either. So she's got to be in a safe place if she's going to do that. Valyria and Mordecai both need spells. Valyria only gets 3 spells, but she gets to pick 1 by name. Mordecai obviously is his first quest, so he's just getting the regular 8 random spells. Also, real quick, we do have a little bit in the way of items here. Hogard has a heroic brew. Valyria has a potion of healing and also the wand of magic. We'll cover what that does here in a second. I'm going to put that card on her sheet just so that I remember she has it. And obviously Mordecai doesn't have any items. Okay, let's do the spell thing. Okay, You guys probably know the drill, but just in case anybody new is watching, Hero Quest comes with 12 different spells. I have here 6 copies of all 12 of those spells in one big pile. We are going to separate those into 4 smaller piles. Regular Hero Quest would have you give 3 of a certain type of spell to one hero and the other 9 to the other hero, but I decided to randomize which spells the heroes get, just to shake things up just a little bit. That means that heroes can get doubles of certain spells, also means they might get a bunch of really useful stuff, or a bunch of garbage. It's really up to the cards, as you were, but it has a pretty big effect on what the heroes can and can't do throughout the quest. Let's hope Mordecai gets some good stuff, because he's probably going to need it. There we go. Okay, as I mentioned, Valyria gets to pick one of her spells by name, and we only have one healing spell going into the quest, one healing potion, so I think she ought to take a healing spell. Yeah, and then we've got a heal body right at the bottom of the first pile, so let's have her go ahead and take that, and then we're going to randomly select her other 2. Now the random selection is going to be done with regular cards. So the suit is going to tell us which pile, and the number is going to tell us which spell. So this is pile 1, card 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That is the Genie spell. That is definitely a very good. This is one of the better offensive spells. We'll cover what these do in more detail if they use them in the quest. We then have pile number 3, card number 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And Fire of Wrath, which is one of the kind of weaker offensive spells, but will allow her to attack an enemy. Those are her 3, and that is a really good loadout considering she only got 3. Heal Body, Genie, and Fire of Wrath. Also worth mentioning, she has the Wand of Magic artifact, which allows her to cast 2 spells as an action on her turn. So if she wanted to, she could theoretically attack physically, and then for her second action, she could heal somebody and cast that Genie. That artifact arguably is better in the hands of a wizard that can cast more spells. Since she only has 3, it's a little bit wasted. So we may shuffle that around later on if it seems relevant. Okay, excuse me. Mordecai gets 8 spells. They are all going to be random. His first one is pile 4, card 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Fire of Wrath is his first spell. Again, offensive, but not super effective. Pile 4, card 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Water of Healing, very good. He will probably need that. Pile 1, card 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Ball of Flame. Another really good offensive spell. He's getting pretty good loadout so far. Pile 1, number 2. Another Fire of Wrath. That's half his spells down. Pile number 4, card number 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 is Rock Skin. This temporarily boosts his defense. Also will be probably very helpful. Pile number 2, card number 3. 1, 2, 3. Veil of Mist. Not super useful, at least not for me. This allows him to move through spaces that have monsters in them. Pile number 3, card number 1 is Sleep. Does pretty much exactly what it sounds like. Puts the monster to sleep. And his last spell, pile number 1, card 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. It's a third Fire of Wrath. No way is the dog barking now. What is their problem? Are we being robbed? Oh man.
The last time we were both down here. Remember? Had to go up there. It wouldn't stop.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, so I'm gonna put these cards in an order over here just so that I can look over here and see what all spells he has. I try not to have to dig through the middle of the pile, but sometimes there's just no way to get around it. Bohemian says you should print a custom deck with different suites instead of hearts, diamonds, clubs, and spades, swords, axes, hammers, and books. Oh man, that is such a good idea, Bohemian. I'm definitely going to keep that in mind. Absolutely, we get the Midnight Quest logo printed on them and stuff. Oh yeah, that would be fantastic. That's definitely got to happen at some point. Okay, I'm going to make sure I'm not forgetting anything else. I don't think I am. I think we're ready to go. Go ahead and put our character cards back out so I remember our turn order. There we go. Let's get the quest text read. This is Quest 10, Castle of Mystery. Long ago, a wizard named Ollar discovered the entrance to a gold mine. Using his great powers, he constructed a magical castle above the mine to protect it. The lower chamber of the castle has many magical doors and is guarded by a host of monsters who were trapped there. Can you find the entrance to the gold mine? Others have tried, but the castle thwarted them every time. So sounds like we stand to gain quite a bit if we can discover this gold mine. All right, let's go back to the board where we are going to be starting on a staircase. We actually need the other camera here, because the staircase is in this blue room here in the corner. Or sorry, the stairway. Yes, stairway, staircase. Is there a difference? There's probably technically a difference. Curious what that is. We have our stairway right here. We've got our door right here in the corner. Now notice, this door is gonna act a little bit different. I'm gonna go ahead and take both of those out though, I think. Gohan says it depends on if it's going to heaven. Yes. Because then it must be a stairway. But if you take the highway, you're going somewhere else. So you got Hogarth the dwarf, Paya the monk, Valerna the elf, and Mordecai the wizard, all headed into this room. Now, this map has a really, really weird thing about it that is potentially either going to make tonight's quest go really fast or make it take really, really long. Movement works a little bit different in this quest. Movement within the rooms is normal, but going from room to room is completely random. No hallways in this quest. The moment a hero leaves the door, we are going to be rolling a different set of dice. I've got some Avalon Hill blue and white dice here, which we are going to be rolling to teleport automatically to different rooms, which means it's completely random every time you walk out of a door where you're going. We might see lots and lots of the same number over and over. The heroes will potentially hurt each other if they land on each other when they're coming out of the door. But the most dangerous thing about this quest, of course, is that this is almost definitely going to trap the heroes away from each other, and they have to be able to hold their own against whatever monsters they find when we're trying to look for this gold mine. Also, when the heroes are carrying gold from the gold mine, they can't attack or defend. So they either have to drop the gold, which then returns to the gold mine to attack or defend, or just let themselves get hit as they try to get back to the stairway. So there's definitely a lot of kind of weird, quirky things going on in this quest, but it should be interesting. I'm curious too, I don't think Justin's gotten this far in the computer version of this game, but I imagine Bohemius knows something about this quest that that players would not be very happy about. And I wish the very first time I ever played this quest with my wife and with my younger brother, the look on her face. I was worried she would never play Hero Quest again. All right, let's get moving. We can still search all the rooms for normal stuff except secret doors. There's no secret doors in this quest because everything is random teleportation. There are no rooms that are directly adjacent to each other, so we're just going to totally forego secret door searching in this quest, and it's only going to be traps and treasure. So Hogarth the dwarf, search for traps, search for treasure, or leave the room. What's he going to do? He is going to search for treasure. We're starting off the quest with some treasure. I guess that's why we're here. Let's see what Hogarth finds. Hogarth sees a leather pouch hanging from a hook in the corner. Inside the pouch is 15 gold coins. Not too bad. Go Gohan says, but secret door. Gromina would never. Yes. That's why she didn't go on the quest. They told her, hey, there's probably not secret doors in this one. And she's like, well, then you guys can take care of it. I'm not doing it. So I'm going to get a drink.
She knows where her priorities lie.
She's like, I'm a dwarven explorer. Okay, exploring is my whole thing. I don't care about treasure. I don't care about monsters. I care about secret doors. No secret doors, no Gromina. All right, Hogard, traps or leave? He's doing traps. And there are no traps in that room. Okay, that means that Paya can just leave. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then her fifth move is going to be into our random room. So I'm going to carefully move these dice and instead roll our blue dice to see where she lands. She's going to land in room 10. Oh, man. Oh, that's not the first room you want to land in. Okay, over here, she is teleporting to the yellow room that we are seeing right here. The door for which is right here. Let's see, that was 1, 2, 3, 4. So this right here is 5 as she walks into the room. In this room with her is 2 Chaos Warriors. Not the kind of room you want to find yourself in, I don't think, right there. Worse yet, she can only attack close range, and she can't reach. Yes, she could. She could reach the one. I'm just not paying close enough attention. Okay, let's do this. She can move one more space. Excuse me. Right up to the Chaos Warrior so that she can attack it. And because this is a particularly difficult monster, we might as well have her go ahead and use her Strength of the Mountain. So this is the element of earth that she is using right off the bat. She's not messing around. So again, as I tried to explain earlier and probably didn't do a great job with, she has 2 cards in her pile that are both the element of earth. If she chooses to use either one, it uses up both of them. So Strength of the Mountain allows her to roll 2 additional attack on an unarmed attack. Using this element does not count as an action. So she's moved and she's attacking, and the attack is going to be a little bit stronger. Also, all of her attacks are unarmed now, so we don't have to worry about that meaning less dice for her. This is only for 1. Okay. Paya swings a fist with the Strength of the Mountain at the Chaos Warrior. Wow, hitting it with 3. Is she going to one-shot this guy? Oh, come on. Okay, the Chaos Warrior defends 2 of those hits and takes 1. Okay, it probably makes for better TV that she didn't just come in and immediately wipe it out, but jeez. Bohemia says, this is the most controversial quest in the history of HeroQuest. Stephen Baker had his redemption in First Light where he perfected the mechanic. Okay, good. Yeah. I'm not surprised to hear that. See, now I think it's funny, but I've only ever played as Zargon or as controlling everything. So I didn't really get to experience the frustration from a player standpoint that didn't know it was coming. So I imagine this probably was pretty controversial. And I know that Justin and Gohan and probably anybody else who's watching doesn't know what we're talking about, but you'll find out. You'll find out. Stay to the end for a couple of reasons, actually. Okay, action-packed. I've almost forgotten what we're doing over here, so we need to jump back to the stairway room where 3 of our 4 heroes are still standing on a staircase while the monk is fighting 2 Chaos Warriors. We are now at Valerna the Elf. There's nothing left to do in this room other than move. And she's also got 6. Gohan says, what was controversial was killing Optimus Prime. Yes. Yeah, that's no kidding. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to watch some more Transformers stuff, honestly. I have seen very little of it. I mean, obviously I know what it was. I had the toys when I was little and all that stuff. But I don't think I watched any of the Michael Bay movies or any of that sort of stuff. I might have seen one of them once, but I don't remember anything about it. I don't know if those are those considered like official, or is it kind of like the normal Michael Bay stuff where everybody's like, ah, it was, you know. Okay, so let's see where Valerna is teleporting to. She also has 2 moves left, and she is going to room number 6. Okay, and that is not too bad. We are going right over here to this kind of brownish yellow room here. The door here is right here. Valerna is right here, whoops, with her number 5 roll. And in this room with her is 1 mummy. So she doesn't have it near as bad as Paya does. I'm glad Morkai didn't get stuck in the Chaos Warrior room. The mummy is here. Gohan says, the first one is cool. You're not missing much with the Bay movies. I've yet to see The Last Night in its entirety in one sitting. Oh, Last Night. Okay, yeah. That seems to be the consensus with a lot of his movies, especially if he's allowed to do more than one, is that the first one's okay, and then they just kind of get worse and worse. I think I saw, is there 2 of the Ninja Turtle movies that he did, or is there only 1? I know I saw at least 1. We'll go ahead and move her 1 more there so she can attack as well. What's she got going on attack-wise? She has a broadsword. That's right, we bought that for her fairly recently. Valerna swings the broadsword at the mummy, hitting it with a 1. Gotta hit mummies harder than that. The mummy does take that hit, but it's not dead. Where's Gramina when you need her? She's the mummy killer. The spectacle of live-action Transformers carries the first movie. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Absolutely. And two Ninja Turtle movies. Okay, that was kind of what I was thinking. I grew up with the 90s ones. I imagine probably most of us here did. Though those have been ruined by YouTube parodies. Go ahead and says, no secret door, no Gramino. We went over this, exactly. All right, Morkai. Let's get Morkai moving for his first official action as a hero. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he is going to teleport. Gotta remember he moved 4. He is going to room number 3. Okay, could be better, could be worse. Oh, awesome! Justin's sending me some shorts to send out into social media land. Room number 3 is up here in this blue room. Got a door right here. Morkai is doing move number 5 into the doorway, and in this room with him is an ocean skeleton. Let's see, where are those guys? Here they are. Ocean skeleton up at the top, and 2 ocean zombies. Like I said, could be worse, could be better. 3 monsters is not necessarily great, but they're ocean monsters, which are fast but have lower attack, so at least even if he gets surrounded, we're talking about monsters that don't have a huge amount of attack. So that's probably best case scenario, all things considered. Let's see if we can get a little closer to that. Get closer to the action right there. A little bit. Okay, Morkai's got plenty of movement left. I think the smartest move for us right at the moment is to move him into the corner so that he can only get hit by 2 monsters. Also here in the corner, he can try to get rid of that skeleton right in his face. He is, of course, equipped with a wooden staff, which he comes with, as well as the oak wand that we bought him. He swings his wooden staff at the skeleton, hitting it with a 1. He does indeed manage to take it out. Good, that's the first good turn right there. Gohan says, so long as you don't put baby in the corner. Yes. Only Morkai, not baby. All right, monster's turn. We might as well take care of Morkai since we're already pointed at him. We've got everybody but Hogard in combat right now. Both of these zombies are for sure going to make it up there because ocean monsters are fast. Ocean zombie number 1. Let's see, do these guys only hit with 1 since they're ocean? Ocean Zombies only hit with 1. Yeah, so again, this may have been best case scenario for Morkai. The Ocean Zombie swings its sword, but misses. The other Ocean Zombie also heads up here, swinging its cleaver, and hitting Morkai with a 1. Luckily, Morkai's got pretty good defense since we had extra gold at our disposal. And he blocks the attack, but just barely. Alright, more monsters' turn. Down over here, we have Valerna the elf fighting a mummy. Boy, I can't wait till that guy is painted. He's just kind of a blob of white in the current board. The mummy swings a fist at Valerna, hitting her with a 1. I believe she's also got 3 defense, right? Yes, indeed. And she blocks the attack, but again, just barely. And finally, for our monster's turn, we have the most dangerous situation over here. The 2 Chaos Warriors in the room with Paya. Now, both of them are going to get to hit her, and they both swing 5 dice. Not fun. So let's go ahead and take care of the one that's already right next to her. The Chaos Warrior swings its axe at Paya, hitting her with a 1. This was a black shield that didn't quite make it all the way down. She does not have very good defense. She does block the attack, but just barely. The other Chaos Warrior steps forward as well, swinging its axe, and hitting her with a 2. Boy, she's getting really lucky. She attempts to defend, but does not defend either hit. Takes them both, bringing her down to 8 body points. By the way, I don't think I pointed this out. Again, I imagine most of the people watching know this, but just in case this is your first ever episode of Midnight Quest, first of all, thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoy what you see. You can direct your attention down to the bottom left of the screen where you will find a dice cam so that you can see what's going on with the rolls and keep me on track if I accidentally see something wrong. It is entirely possible. All right, that brings us back to Hogard. We need to switch cameras to get back to Hogard. Still standing on the stairway. All of his teammates in combat. And he's just sort of hanging out. He has gotten a very good movement, though. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see where he's headed off to. He is going to room number 6, which is, I think, the room that Valerna is in. Yes, indeed, it is. So he appears here. 5. And he's here. He might as well help. 6. Hogard swings his broadsword at the mummy. Wow, hitting it with a critical hit of 3. He's making up for having just stood around. The mummy does not defend anything. He is definitely out of there. Very nice. He wasn't screwing around. He came in there and took care of it. Okay, over here we are now at Paya in the room with the Chaos Warriors. Does she have anything else she could do to help herself right now? Yeah. You know what? I almost hate to get rid of all of her stuff at once, but knowing that probably no help is coming, we might as well let her do as much as she can. We are going to have her use the element of air. Again, she has 2 cards associated with the element of air, but using one uses up both. We're going to have her use Eye of the Storm as an action, make 1 unarmed attack against all adjacent and diagonal monsters. That means she can hit both of these guys on this turn. Now, her unarmed attack not powered up is only 2, but at least she can get some damage on both of these guys. So let's go for the one she is facing first. Paya makes a swinging kick at the Chaos Warrior, hitting it with 1. And it takes the damage. She's kind of chipping that guy down. She also sends a fist flying at the other Chaos Warrior, hitting it with 1, which it blocks. Fair enough. Bohemia says, oh, not Bohemia, sorry. Justin Pollitt says, I'm glad I double-checked that video. I used the wrong codec when I rendered it. Fixed it, should be good to go. Okay, good. Yes, that's always good to check. Gohan says, Gramina gonna make her own secret door and come save the day. Yes. Yes. Oh, I know we're early in the process, but we're planning all of the merch right now. There's got to be Gramina shirts, right? I mean, there has to be, and it has to have something to do with secret doors. Yeah. Okay, Paya also does have a second action, and this room hasn't had any sort of searching. She can't search for treasure because there are monsters in it. As I mentioned, no point in searching for secret doors because she's not Gramina, so she is going to use her second action, to search for traps, and there are none. Justin says, yeah, and super dead shirts. Yeah, we gotta have super dead shirts. I do indeed say super dead quite often. All right, that takes us to Valerna, which means we can come back over here. She is in this room. Is she going to search for traps, search for treasure, or leave? I'll tell you what, the trap search is also kind of a weird thing in this quest. She's already stepped on every relevant square since we know there's no other doors and no secret doors. There's no point in searching for traps. So treasure or leave. She's gonna leave. She's gonna leave Hogard for the treasure. All right. One, see where she's headed off to. She's going to room number 12, which is actually the staircase room. So, 2, but we're going to go ahead and turn her around and have her go again. It's possible that the original Hero Quest says you can only teleport once. Again, I might be wrong thinking that, but I just let them go ahead and play out their entire movement just so that we can get through it. So her next teleport is going to send her to room 8. Okay, we need to go back over this direction because room number 8 is this red room over here. Got a door right here. This puts her at 3. And rather miraculously, this is the room with the entrance to the gold mine. And the entrance to the gold mine is right here. So she got that pretty quickly. That was 3. So if we go 4, 5, 6, 7, let's read what's going on here. This square is the entrance to the mine. Any player who enters this room may take 5,000 gold coins. However, as long as they are carrying the gold, they may not attack or defend. If the hero chooses to put the gold down, it is magically transported back to the mine and must be retrieved again. So we stand, potentially, to gain 20,000 gold if all heroes get into this room, which is, not nothing. So she now has 5,000 gold coins, but she can't attack or defend, which means either her options are to put the gold down and have to come back and get it, or to leave the quest and leave the other 3 heroes to fend for themselves. Ooh. We'll kind of see how that plays out. We're going to go ahead and leave her there for now. Mordecai is next. Let's see, he's pretty much on camera where we're at here, so let's just move this camera. There he is. He is surrounded, but he's still doing pretty good. Let's go ahead and use his first turn to attack one of those ocean zombies. We are actually going to turn him and have him attack this one. Mordecai swings his oak staff, hitting the zombie with a critical hit of 2. The zombie defends 1, but not the other. It is dead. Ah, that's only for skilled strikes. Or when I say it without thinking about it. Bohemia says, part of the problem was exactly that. After the teleport, the hero ends his turn. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it makes the quest take way longer. Okay. Oh yes, Mordecai still has another action left. And honestly, he's got a whole bunch of these Fire of Wrath spells. I think we ought to let him do that, because he could get rid of that other zombie too. Now here's a question for you guys that I've thought about a couple times, and I'm just curious what makes sense to you guys. Ocean monsters. Now again, in the original Hero Quest, there were not variants of the monsters. It was just goblins are goblins, orcs are orcs, so on and so forth. I've added in all of these extra monster variants that have slightly different stats and stuff. For ocean monsters, should fire spells affect them? Because they're not really, it's not like they're made out of water. They were just raised in and around water. So genuinely curious what you guys think of that. Is that a functional change we should make that fire spells don't affect ocean monsters. Or, I mean, I think you could equally make the argument that it's not like the monster is made out of water. Justin says, yes, fire should affect them. Curious everybody there. Throw some opinions in there. Bohemia's opinions, Gohan. Merlin, if you're in here. I know Merlin often doesn't comment unless somebody gets his attention. Justin says, you can cook fish, right? That's a good point. That's a good point. Okay, for now, until we figure this out, we're going to go ahead and do this for sure. So Mordecai is going to cast the Fire of Wrath spell on the zombie. A small flame appears at Mordecai's hand. He directs it at the zombie, who is immediately engulfed in flames. The zombie attempts to throw the spell off and is unsuccessful and is now burned up. Gohan says, I missed it. Oh yes, Gohan, the question is, the ocean monsters, should we let fire spells affect them? In regular Hero Quest, there aren't ocean monsters, so this wasn't something that was considered. You could argue either way, I think. Ocean monsters, sure, maybe fire spells shouldn't affect them. On the other hand, they aren't made out of water. They were just raised in and around water. So can they be burned up by fire spells, or do we give them that kind of boon? I think you could potentially make an argument either way. Okay, that took up both of Mordecai's actions. So we are to the monster's turn, and it looks like the only monsters... Oh, Gohan says resistant, maybe? Yeah. I think you could make an argument. I like what Justin said about, like, fire spells should affect them. You can catch a fish on fire, and it doesn't hurt it. But also... something that I've always kind of worried about with the ocean monsters is that they're kind of weak. Bohemia says give them a +1 on a roll if you want to give them a resistance to an element. That makes a lot of sense. So it's kind of a good middle ground. That's very true. I don't hate that idea. The ocean monsters in my stats across the board are really fast, but they have one less attack dice. So like those zombies we were just looking at, only attack with 1 dice. Same thing with the skeletons. They only attack with 1 dice. The goblins only attack with 1 dice. So they're really weak. They're fast, but it does feel like maybe they ought to have 1 extra thing that makes them a threat. And being either totally resistant or somewhat resistant to the water or to the fire spells might be a good kind of apology for making them almost uselessly weak. Yeah, I think what Bohemia says is a really good thing to consider. Maybe not totally resistant, but better resistant. Okay, over here with the Chaos Warriors, we are at the monster's turn, and Paya is surrounded. So let's see what happens here. The Chaos Warrior directly in front of her is going to be attacking first. The Chaos Warrior swings its axe and misses. Wow, 5 dice and not a single skull. Look at that. Yeah. Okay. Chaos Warrior number 2 swings its axe and hits her with a 2. Again, that's a pretty low attack for a Chaos Warrior. Let's see if she defends this one. She does indeed. Wow, she gets 2 white shields across her dice, totally blocking that attack. That's handy. She is getting so lucky. Immunity to water spells and resistant to fire. Yeah. That's a good point, because that would give ocean monsters total resistance to the sleep spell, too. Now, for the undead, that wouldn't matter, because they're already resistant to the sleep spell. But maybe just ocean monsters in general are resistant. What are the other 2 ocean spells? So we've got Water of Healing, which doesn't matter. Sleep. And then what's the other one? Is it Veil of Mist? That's the other water spell? Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely an interesting thought process there, too. If it's an ocean monster, the Veil of Mist doesn't let you pass through it. You can't put it to sleep. And isn't there... Now, I'm curious about this. Bohemius, I bet you know this, too. They did a weird thing in recent times where Water of Healing can be used to destroy certain undead monsters. Is that totally across the board, or was that only for a certain thing? I don't remember, because we could give them immunity to that as well. Undead monsters can't be destroyed by Water of Healing. But I don't know many players who would use Water of Healing to destroy an undead monster instead of using it to heal themselves anyway. So, I mean, that could go either way. Definitely a really good idea. Okay, that was the monster's turn. Let's get back over to Hogard, who is right there. There's nothing else to be done. No, I'm sorry, the treasure hasn't been searched in this room. Let's get that going. Hogard searches for treasure. I think that was just for a special quest, Bohemia says. Okay, yeah. That was... Is it Zargon's Flame at the end of Prophecy of Telor that was for? I knew it was in one, but I couldn't remember if they'd made that just a thing across the board or not. Okay, Hogard's searching for treasure. He finds an oddly shaped glass vial with a stack of coins inside. He turns the vial over only to discover that the coins do not fit out the opening. You may never find out how the coins were placed into the vial, but upon smashing it on the stony floor, you get them out just fine. Inside the vial was 35 coins. Must have been a pretty big vial. That puts us to 165. Yeah. Okay, Hogard's second action, he can go ahead and move out of there. Let's see where he's going. 1. He is being teleported to room number 6, which is where he is already. So, 2. Now he's being teleported to room number 7. Okay, that's something else. That is actually the central room, is where he is headed right there. The door leading into the central room is here. This is going to be 3. And in this room is a very colorful set of goblins by the look at it. We've got a mountain goblin, who is, further back and not adjacent to the door. We've got a wasteland goblin. And 2 swamp goblins. There we go. Oh wow, every mini in this room is painted. That's one of the first times that's happened. That's worth a closer look. Yeah, that's, I like it. Alright, now Hogard can't do anything about these goblins. What should he do here? He should probably try and get himself into the corner so that he's not surrounded. He's got pretty good defense though. Let's go 4-5. So he can only get hit by 2 of them instead of 3. Justin says, I just downloaded your rule changes. Whenever I get the game, I'll probably end up using them with my friends. We're used to more complicated games, and I'm not sure they will appreciate the simplicity of the base rules after a few quests. I could see that. Hopefully that all makes sense. And I've got a whole bunch more stuff I can send you for that too. My skill set papers, my character sheets, the armory that I use, all of that sort of stuff I can send to you if you want to do that. And I imagine you might still need some clarification on stuff. I'm only ever hoping that I've explained it well enough for anybody to understand. Okay, over here we have Paya going next, and she's still kind of in trouble here. She could potentially use some element of water here, but I don't think that either of these things are going to be useful to her at the moment. Not at the moment, but let's definitely remember her Twisting Torrent will allow her to negate damage. So if she gets like a really bad hit from one of these guys on a monster's turn, she can use the Twisting Torrent to just cancel that out. Okay, so for now it's just a regular hit. Now this guy, the dude with the kind of bronze axe here, is almost dead. So let's see if she can take him the rest of the way out. Paya sends a fist flying at the Chaos Warrior and misses it entirely. Yeah, that sounds about right. Now, unfortunately, that is all she can do. That's literally it. So she's just going to have to hope that she doesn't get hit real bad by either of them on the next turn. Nothing she can do with her second action unless she's going to run away, and I don't think she's low enough on body points yet for that. So let's move on. Valyria is next. Yeah, we'll keep this camera. We'll send the camera over here. She is the one holding 5,000 gold coins right at the moment. Oh, and she only got 1, 2, 3. She doesn't even get to leave the room. I guess you're slow when you're carrying a lot of coins. And then we have Mordecai. Let's go ahead and switch cameras for this. Mordecai is up here. Oh, geez, I moved the camera all around. Sorry for the shaky movements there. Let's see what he's gonna do. We need to search this room for some stuff. Are we gonna do traps or treasure? He's going treasure first. That makes sense. Well, again, we might just get rid of trap searches in this quest for the most part too, honestly, because he's stepped on every relevant square. Yeah. Okay, let's see what he found. While Mordecai is searching, a hidden arrow shoots from the wall and strikes him. He loses 1 body point. Ouch. I should also see about maybe him casting his rock skin spell next time he walks into a room. Justin says, not to take away from this game, I really do love it, but the base set and its rules are like playing Candyland compared to some of the games we play. Yeah, and honestly, I don't think that's a bad thing to say. That was part of the reason it was created. It was created as a simpler answer to D&D, you know what I mean? Back then, D&D was one of the only things like this that existed. And I could be totally wrong about this, but my understanding is that Stephen Baker just wanted something that was like D&D, but simpler. You know, the whole family could play it, and it didn't take a whole night just to set up. So I think it's like that on purpose. So I don't think that's something people would be upset about hearing. Okay, Mordecai can move, and boy did he get a whole movement. 1. Let's see where he's teleporting to. Room number 7. Ah, he is also going to the central room. 2. Get our camera back over there on him. There he goes. He's in here with Hogard. And probably safe to use the rest of those movements to, again, go into a corner, just so that they're not completely surrounded. And he's already used his other action on that treasure search, so that is it. We are at the monster's turn. Okay, well, we're here. Let's go ahead and take care of these goblins right here and see what we got. Now, the guy we want to be really conscientious of here is the Wasteland Goblin. From a Zargon perspective, the Wasteland monsters are slow. Now, he's still a goblin, so he's faster than other Wasteland monsters. Let me review here. How much can he move? 5. So he can probably still get to either of them. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so really there's not much in the way of consideration. Let's do this. Swamp Goblin, 1, 2. Swamp Goblin swings its sword at Hogard, hitting him with a 1. Hogard defends the attack. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Wasteland Goblin swings its dagger at Hogard, hitting him with a 1. Hogard does not defend the attack. This drops him to 10 body points. Over here, the Swamp Goblin swings its axe at Mordecai. Ouch, hitting him with a critical hit of 3. Mordecai defends 1, but takes the other 2 hits, dropping him to 7 body points. And then this is the Mountain Goblin here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mountain Goblin swings its sword at Mordecai, hitting him with a critical hit of 2. Ouch. Mordecai defends that attack. Okay, good. Those were some hard hits there. Justin says, yeah, old school D&D is nuts. There's rules for everything in that, including writing a will so your character can pass off their stuff when, not if, they die, and of course that wealth is taxed. Oh man. Yeah, you know, as strange as it is, probably because I was introduced to this so young, the HeroQuest game, I've never played regular D&D. Like, literally never once in my life. I've been asked by a couple of people. I've known several people that run D&D games. But I've always worried that I don't have the time to commit in a way that I feel like you should commit to something like that. So I've always said no. Maybe someday, if I find myself not completely bogged down with all of the things I entrench myself in. But in the meantime, this is fine. This right here is plenty enough for me. What else do we got in terms of monsters? Really, it's just those Chaos Warriors. So let's jump back over here and see what happens to Paya. So the first guy there with the fancy looking axe there, the bronze axe. Chaos Warrior swings its axe at Paya and hits her with a 4. Oh man, she's only got 2 defense dice. Okay, I think this might be the time for Twisting Torrent, because she's definitely... Okay, she is going to use her Twisting Torrent element of water to immediately get rid of any amount of damage. Yeah, she's just going to cancel that right there. Nope, no hit. Gohan says, I thought you said LeBron's axe for a second. Yeah. Justin says, this isn't so far off from running a dungeon in D&D. Really, the only thing this game seems to be missing is role-playing with NPCs. I see that. I get that. Yeah, there's no area with NPCs. Or no areas with NPCs. I guess I did say that right the first time. Yeah, I think. I don't know. They did kind of incorporate something like that in the Wizards of Morcar expansion that they just put out, which was interesting. They kind of tried to put in a village area that the heroes can visit and get things, which was interesting. That's the first time anything like that has existed in HeroQuest. But that's a system, again, that I'm probably just not going to use, at least for now. Wizards of Morcar was one of the original expansions too, and they just remade it. But they added a bunch of stuff to the remake, and I'm at the moment, I'm thinking I'm not going to use the stuff they added, because the version of Wizards of Morcar that I wrote into my campaign was the original version, the Milton Bradley version that I wrote this campaign before they put Wizards of Morcar out. That's the newest expansion that they've got right now. So I'm thinking I'm going to leave my campaign alone, and then maybe I'll repurpose those quests and stuff for something else later. Okay, one more Chaos Warrior attack there on Paya. Chaos Warrior swings its axe. Oh man, hitting her with 4. Let's see what she defends. 1. She defends 1. Let's see, so 1, 2, 3, this drops her down to 5 body points. So she's getting pretty low. But there is something she can do on the next turn that might get her out of trouble. Now that she's used up all her other stuff, that Burning Spirit might kind of get her back on track there. Okay, Hogard is in the corner, surrounded by goblins. Let's see which one of those guys he's going to swing at. He is going to take out the Wasteland Goblin first, hopefully. Hogard swings his broadsword, hitting the goblin with a 1. Now there's a Wasteland Goblin, has slightly better defense than normal, but it did not defend that attack, so luckily he did indeed get rid of it. The drawers are getting a little messy over there. With his second action, we might as well let him search for traps in this room, and there are none. We now need to go back over to Paya. And here's what we need her to do, okay? Her Burning Spirit for the element of fire. As an action, expel a beam of brilliant energy from your soul's core. This beam may be straight or diagonal and continues until it meets a wall or closed door. Each enemy in the beam takes 2 body points of damage. This cannot be defended. After use, the element of fire is exhausted. Okay, so this will take out one of the Chaos Warriors and severely damage the other one, but the only way she can hit both of them is if she can get to this square or this square here. So we're gonna roll for her, and she needs to get at least 3 to make that work. Okay, boy, that was close. She got 4. 1, 2, 3. And now she can use that Burning Spirit to shoot a beam of energy across diagonally like that. So we won't read the card again, we just did that. Both of those guys are going to take 2 body points of damage. That's going to kill this guy. Oh yeah, I lost the drawer there. And severely damage the other guy. That's going to give him 2 body points of undefendable damage right there, and at least get her out of really hot water for the moment. Now that does mean she's used up all of her monk abilities. So she either needs to meditate and essentially lose an entire turn to get them back, or just finish the quest without them. Okay, Valyria, up in the red room carrying 5,000 gold coins. Let's see where she's headed. She's again got a really bad roll. 1. Let's see where she's teleporting to. She is teleporting to room 10. Have we visited that? Oh yes, that's the Chaos Warrior room. 2. Oop. I don't know why I looked up expecting the camera to be in the right spot. Here we go. Do we let her take a 3rd movement, or should she drop the gold and help? We better card this, because I think a real player would have a dilemma here. So let's say red card, she's going to drop the gold and help. Black card, she's just going to turn around and walk out that door and teleport again. So red card, okay, she drops the gold, it disappears, but she can fire at that Chaos Warrior. I know a couple of comments popped in. I'm going to take care of this and then we'll get those read. Valyria puts an arrow in her short bow and fires at the Chaos Warrior, hitting it with a 1. This might kill it, but it blocks the attack. Okay, Justin says, I know how I am, and I'm going to end up getting the base set and First Light and the expansions, and they will never get finished. We jump games too much. Yep. I run D&D in person and Daggerheart online. One friend runs Daggerheart, and one friend is about to start running Avatar, and we have other board games we play too. Yeah, that is a lot. Bohemia says, also in Rise of the Dread Moon, they added some interactions with NPCs and riddles to solve, a way to tease the player to feel free to have RP interactions. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, 1 second. I am going to go chastise the dog. She's gonna end up waking the kids up, barking like crazy. 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Yes, Bohemius. It's been a while since I've read the Rise of the Dread Moon book. I need to read through that again, for sure. Because I'd forgotten about that. I think I knew that, but I forgot. Justin says, I may drop my online Daggerheart and probably convert my D&D game into Daggerheart. I like it better. Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah. That would be a little bit less going on, too, which would be probably nice. Okay, and then we were about to do Mordecai's turn. That's where we were. Okay, so Mordecai the Wizard here, hanging out in the corner with a couple of goblins. He's got a swamp goblin on one side and a mountain goblin on the other. Let's see who he is going to attack. He is going to start with the mountain goblin. Now again, he could probably use a Fire of Wrath spell and hopefully get rid of both of these guys. So let's have him swing at this guy. Mordecai swings his staff and misses. Oh man, well, so much for getting rid of both of them. Let's see. And like I said, he drew 3 Fire of Wrath spells at the beginning of this, so there's really no reason not to go ahead and use one. Although he does have a rock skin too, so it'd be unfortunate if this also doesn't work. Let's see, which guy is he going to cast? Okay, he's going to keep trying to get rid of that mountain goblin. So he is going to cast his Fire of Wrath. A small fan of flame appears in front of Mordecai. He directs it at the goblin, and it is immediately engulfed in flames. It attempts to throw off the spell, and does. That is a tricky goblin right there. That goblin does not want to die. Defended an attack from the staff, defended getting caught on fire. That goblin might deserve to live. And that was it. That was it for Mordecai's turn. So we are now at the monster's turn. We're already pointed at the central room. Let's go ahead and take care of everybody in here. We're going to start with the Swamp Goblin up here by Hogard. Swamp Goblin swings its sword, hitting the dwarf with a critical hit of 3. These goblins have been getting nothing but critical hits. Hogard attempts to defend. Defends 2 of the hits, but takes the other one, dropping him to 9 body points. Also in this room, we have this mountain goblin. This amazingly resilient mountain goblin swings its sword at Mordecai, but misses. I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? The guy just like got bopped on the head with a staff and caught on fire. He's gonna miss, probably, right? Justin says rigged. Yeah. And then we've got the Swamp Goblin here that's standing on the other side of Mordecai. The Swamp Goblin swings its axe at Mordecai, hitting him with a 2. Mordecai does not defend either hit. This drops him to 5 body points. He's getting kind of beat up. Meanwhile, in our other room, it's kind of funny that the heroes are actually grouped 2 and 2 here, considering this is random. The Chaos Warrior has a choice of who he's going to try and hit, and he is going to go for Valerna. The Chaos Warrior swings his axe at the elf. Oh, hitting her with 4. Man. Valerna defends 2 of them, but takes the other 2 hits. This drops her to 9 body points. Ouch. Justin says, I think my audio interface is dying. I have to disconnect it and reconnect it like 3 times a day. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. I've got pieces of equipment that are weird like that. Like pretty much every night that I come down here, I have to unplug and replug my dice cam. I don't know what the deal is with that. It's not consistent. Sometimes it works fine, and sometimes I gotta do that. It's weird how technology is. All right, back to the heroes. We are at Hogard over here, who now needs to try and get rid of this Swamp Goblin that's on him. Hogard swings his broadsword, hitting the goblin with a 1. The goblin does not defend. It's done. There we go. Let's see, what else can Hogard do? Nothing other than move. He might as well, especially since Mordecai's getting low on health, he might as well come over here to help. Okay, that sends us to Paya. Over here in the corner. Now honestly, she could use a little bit of healing, but she doesn't have anything. I guess she's still got 5, so she's not quite in the danger zone, but she's getting pretty close. 1, 2, we don't need to roll for that. See if she can get rid of this guy. She swings her wooden staff at the Chaos Warrior, hitting it with a 1. That is technically enough to kill it, but it blocks. I thought it wasn't going to. That was that last dice that dropped in there. That brings us straight to Valerna, who is also standing in here. Let's see if she can get rid of it. Valerna swings her broadsword at the Chaos Warrior, hitting it with a 2. It does not defend either one. That takes it out. Nice. That is not an easy room. I'm glad somebody went in there to help Paya with that too. Okay, Valerna still has an action left. Let's go ahead and search for treasure. I do believe this room has a special treasure. The first hero to search for treasure in this room will find the Ring of Return artifact. That is this thing Right here, using this item will allow the wearer and any other heroes within the wearer's line of sight to return to the starting point of the quest. This ring can be used once per quest. Let's see, Valerna found that, so we'll go ahead and write that down for her. I'm not gonna lie, I've never used that item. I've never seen anybody use that item. I've gone ahead and created a chart for selling items like this back to the armory if heroes don't want them. I might sell this one. I'm curious. Bohemius, have you ever used that item or seen anybody use that, the Ring of Return? Because that, to me, seems like one of the less useful artifacts. Justin says, I had intended to record music with it, but never did. It's mostly used to run my mic and speakers these days. Yeah, that makes sense. You kind of need one of those nowadays to have that sort of a setup. I'm glad these wireless mics that we use for this, the wireless receiver can hook right into the computer and acts as an interface just for the mics. So we didn't have to buy like a little interface just for the streaming computer, which was nice. I thought we were gonna have to. I'm glad we didn't have to. Okay, Morkai, the wizard, is where we're at, so we need to go back to the central room and see if he can get rid of these goblins now. So first off, who's he gonna attack? Yeah, he's gonna try the Swamp Goblin. That's good. I wish he'd done that in the first place. Swamp Goblin hits harder. Let's see. Morkai swings his staff, hitting the goblin with a 1. The goblin does not defend. He takes it out. Oh, darn it. I closed my Swamp Goblin drawer before I was finished putting them away. There we go. Okay, yeah, we might as well use his other Fire of Wrath spell. I mean, why not? Let's see if we can get rid of both of them. Second time's the charm on this guy, hopefully. Okay, this is the last instance of Fire of Wrath that Morkai has available to him. A fan of flame appears at Morkai's hands. He directs it at the goblin, who is, for the second time, completely engulfed in magical flame. The goblin attempts to throw it off and does not. Because, you know, who's going to survive being set on fire twice? Not this guy. Justin says, I would use that ring if I was running away from monsters. Me and Sarah beat the gargoyle, but didn't have the resources to kill everyone else, so we booked it to the exit. Had my elf use walk through walls spell. Yeah. That would be helpful in certain cases. If you're in total retreat, that ring would come in handy. But I've personally seen very little usages pop up. Maybe it's just because of my homebrew rules have powered everyone up enough for total retreat to not happen so often, and maybe I've kind of unintentionally made that artifact a little bit useless. Okay, that was both of Morkai's actions, so he can't do the treasure search for that room. We are also, for the first time pretty much since the beginning of the quest, gonna skip monsters. We don't have any monsters on the board, so we are right back to Hogard. Hogard, are you gonna do treasure or leave? He's gonna do treasure this time. Nothing special, let's see what he finds. There are a series of hooks affixed to one of the walls. All of them have various things hanging from them. On one of them, you find a leather bag containing 25 gold coins. Not bad, not bad. That puts us up to 190. And then he can leave. Okay, he's already standing in front of the door, so let's see where he's headed. Room number 9. Is that a new room? Yes, it is. Okay, kind of on camera though. It's this kind of like maroon room here. The door into this room is right here, and that is actually going to be 1 for Hogard. In this room, there is 2 skeletons. One here, nope, right here, and 1 here. Also, 1 skeleton archer. Right here. And a mummy. That's a lot of stuff going on. Hopefully somebody gets in there to help him out a little bit. And potentially the worst part at the moment is he's already used his other action, so he's going to have to just, again, kind of go in the corner here in an attempt to damage control, essentially. Justin, okay, I've missed a couple here. Bohemia says it depends on the house rules. The Ring of Return is very good to run away and save the party from certain death. Justin says we wasted time and body points fighting Chaos Warriors just for the chest to be empty. Yeah, forgot about that. I changed that too. I put some stuff in that chest because that is such a crock. To fight like the hardest monsters on that board just about and then get nothing for it. Bohemia says, did you ever play Frozen Horror? Yes, yes indeed. Merlin and I played through Frozen Horror. It's been a while ago now, but yeah, given, again, we were playing homebrew rules. But that was the first time Merlin ever lost a hero. He had, I think, 2 heroes die playing through Frozen Horror, and that's book number 8 in my campaign. So he had gone through 7 books with no hero deaths until we got to Frozen Horror. He was not happy about that either. Okay, yeah, we did Hogard there. So, Paya, let's see, let's move over to Paya. Now, I think we need a card draw for Paya right away, because there's nothing left to do in this room, but should she meditate to get her stuff back? Because she's totally safe right here. There's an extremely low chance of a monster walking in there, unless a monster from a different room walks out a door and happens to teleport into that room. She is totally safe to skip a turn and get all her stuff back. That's probably a good idea, right? Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably a good idea. I was thinking about carding this to make it a little bit more random, to simulate whether or not a player character would think about that. Justin says my wizard dies a bunch. I hate that it's near useless. Yeah, I think my homebrew rules started with the wizard is useless. I need to do this. I need to find a way to make him better without breaking the game. And then, you know, one thing led to another. Yeah, I think let's do it. Let's have Paya meditate. So she is going to skip this entire turn, both actions, and also if by chance a monster walked in here, she wouldn't be able to defend on the monster's turn. But this is going to give her back all 8 of her cards. We'll just go ahead and put them back. And check back in with her next turn. That's going to take us to Valerna, the elf who is also standing in that room. Nothing else to do, so she's going to go ahead and leave. She's got to be hoping that she can get back to the gold mine. She got a pretty good roll there of 9. Let's see where she's headed off to first. Room number 6 is definitely not a new room. She is first appearing right over here in this kind of yellowish brown room here. So that is 1. She's going to leave again because there's nothing to do in this room. See where she's headed to next. Room number 7 is the central room. So 2, also nothing to do in here, so she might as well leave. There are still 3 more rooms they haven't been to yet. That was 2, right? Room number 3, is this a new one? Nope, sure isn't. This is actually this room here, so that's her 3rd movement. I see, we got some chat stuff. Let me finish what I'm doing here. I'm gonna lose my place. Our next teleportation is room number 8. Oh good, that's the gold room again. So there's 4. That had to have been what she was hoping for. So 5, 6, 7, and 8 will give her 5,000 gold back. It says if you could cast through party members, it would be fine. Wizard should be in the back, but he can't cast from back there. Yeah, I never thought about that. You're absolutely right. I can shoot an arrow over my friend's heat, but not lob a fireball over the head. Yeah. And Bohemia says the wizard is my favorite character. Yes. I imagine you've found a good use case for that, and probably too. I know Bohemia. I know you play with HeroQuest fans. Sorry, I'm stuttering so bad. I don't know why. I'm curious if you play on your own as well, because I'm fairly confident that Kurgan uses some homebrew stuff too, right? Like not a bunch. Seem it from the bits that I've been able to hang out in there. It seems like it's a lot closer to the normal rules than I do. But he's definitely got some different stuff he's got in there too, right? I wonder if he's also allowed spells to be cast through other heroes, because that, even just that tiny little change right there, makes a huge difference. He's good for supporting the others, right? Yeah. In the way that computer game plays it, because I don't think anything in the normal rules indicates that you can't shoot through another hero, unless I'm just remembering that wrong. Bohemian says, I play Wizard first in line, opening the doors and buffing the party. Nice. That's an interesting, that makes sense. If he's first in line, the rest of the heroes have a chance to get in there before a monster comes and attacks. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Mordecai, right? Yeah, we're at Mordecai, who is still in the central room. There's nothing left to do in here, so we just need to get him moving and teleporting. Okay, he got a 6 right there. So 1, 2. He's going to room number 11. Yeah, that's a new one. He is going up to this brown room in the corner. Oops. You get back in there. Door's right there. Here's number 3 in the doorway here, and all that is in this room is 3 mountain orcs. Oops, 1 and 2 and 3. So it could be worse, could be better. Justin says you're braver than me. I think the key there is having the wizard first in line. I wonder if the computer version of the game you've been playing, Justin, forces a turn order. Can you switch around the turn order? Because if the wizard's first in line, that makes total sense. You can have the wizard open the door, and as long as the rest of the party is right there, they should be able to go in past him, and then it doesn't put him in danger. But if the computer game forces a certain turn order, then that kind of ruins it. You can change it, yeah. So maybe playing wizard first, like Bohemius was saying, would at least make it a little better. What can we do here? So Mordecai went into that room, but he hasn't done anything else, so he can definitely attack, and he can shoot without moving, but he does have movement left. So again, I think, just in case he doesn't manage to kill anybody, putting him in the corner is probably the way to go. So at least he can only get attacked by 2 of them at once instead of all 3 if he doesn't manage to kill one. But he's still got a second action, so let's let him go ahead and fire off some energy. Now, he's still got some spells he could use. Sleep would be handy, Ball of Flame would be handy. Just about any of his 4 spells would be handy, because he's also down to 5 body points, which means he's theoretically in range to be killed, even if 2 orcs walk up and get critical hits. Okay, actually, I think rather than trying to kill one of those guys, that Water of Healing is probably his best move, since we don't know... No, the monsters are definitely going to get to move before another hero gets a chance to come in there and help. Okay, Mordecai is going to cast his Water of Healing spell on himself, healing him 4 body points. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. This brings him back up to 9 body points, so almost full health. Definitely good to go. On his next turn, we should probably let him cast that rock skin too. Bohemia says, open door, assess the situation, cast a spell, or move out of the way. That's right, because opening a door is not an action. Good point. Fair enough. I'll have to try that in my video game. Yeah. Yep. Okay, that brings us to the monster's turn, and we do have a little bit of a chaotic situation going on. So we have 2 heroes with no monsters in the room, and 2 heroes where monsters are practically surrounding them. So let's start with Mordecai, since we're already pointing at him. These are all just run-of-the-mill Hero Quest orcs here. So orc number 1 swings his axe at Mordecai, hitting him with a 1. That's good. That's best case scenario. Mordecai doesn't defend it though. Kind of sucks. This drops him to 8 body points. And then which of the other orcs is going to move up there? It's going to be the Milton Bradley guy. 1, 2, 3. This orc swings his sword at Mordecai, hitting him with a 2. Mordecai blocks that one. He was ready for it that time. All right, and then we're going to take the camera over here to the room full of undead with Hogard. Justin says, I wasn't in the mood to play tonight. I just wanted to make a video and just chill in the chat. Work broke me today. Oh, dude, I get that. I get that. I am very lucky in that I'm able to teach music for a living. I came home from Whirlpool like that really, really often. So I'm glad that the teaching thing worked out. Now, don't get me wrong. I am also not a very social person. I have a lot of social anxiety that is based really specifically on a fear of being misunderstood. And it's my job not only to talk to people, but make sure they understand what I'm saying. So I also occasionally come home from teaching lessons feeling very broken. So I know exactly what you mean. But it's a much better situation than making KitchenAid mixers was. Skeleton swings its scythe and misses. Okay, and then we've got either the mummy. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. The mummy could get up there, or that skeleton. So which one of these guys is going up there? It's going to be the skeleton. 1, 2, 3. The skeleton swings its scythe and also misses. Boy, these undead must have lost their eyeballs. They can't do a thing. And then we've got the skeleton archer over here too that can shoot. Skeleton fires an arrow at Hogard, hitting him with 1. Well, at least the archer guy can shoot. Hogard attempts to defend. Oh, and we got a dice that landed funny. And he does manage to defend the attack. Justin says, I'll have it easy tomorrow. That's good. Easy day is good. Justin says, you seem to do really well. Toby loves you to death. I'm glad to hear that, man. I for sure pride myself on being able to remain calm. In certain situations, not in every situation, but in certain situations, I'm really good at seeming calm, even though I'm very not. But for the most part, I can let stuff roll off of me. All right, we're right back at Hogard. That's good. We're already pointing right there. Let's see what he can do. He ought to at least try and break through some of these skeletons. Which one's he going to go for? He's going to go for this guy right here. Hogard swings his broadsword at the skeleton. And again, we got a dice that landed weird there. Critical hit of 3. That is also a skilled strike for the skeleton, meaning that guy is super dead. Out of there he goes. Oh, Bohemius. No, Kurgan doesn't let us cast through friendly characters. Gotcha. Yes, he got some house rules and his leveling system, but everything else very close to the original rules. Okay, that was the kind of the indication that I got. And he's got a leveling system too. That's also neat. I noticed I was hanging out there, I think it was Saturday before my stream, I got the notification that they were live, and it was, oh man, I don't even, was it First Light maybe that they were playing, I think? And I noticed that a monster got some sort of upgrade when he put it down. It was like, it became an elite monster, if I'm remembering right. And I found that was kind of curious. The hero that was playing still knocked the guy right out. It didn't even matter, which was kind of funny, but it was definitely an interesting idea. I love seeing other people's homebrew stuff, just because it's interesting to see what other people have come up with in those same things. Okay, Kurgan, not Kurgan, now I'm saying the wrong name there. Apparently it's a good dwarf name. Hogard can't really do anything else other than search this room for traps. Yeah, we'll go ahead and let him do that. There aren't any. He could move, but I don't think strategically it makes sense to move unless he's running away. Okay, back to Paya. Now she has finished meditating. She's got all her stuff back, so let's get her moving and teleporting. There we go. 1, 2. See where she's going to go. She is going to room number 5. That is also a new room that we have not been to yet. It's a good thing she got her stuff back, because she is getting all the unlucky rolls. Room number 5 is the tiny little room, the multicolored tiny room there, with a door right here. dropping her right here. And in this room is a Chaos Warrior. Luckily, it's only one this time. That poor girl's got nothing but Chaos Warriors every time she's entered a room. This is only the second room she's walked into. She's got to be convinced at this point that every room is just filled with Chaos Warriors. Luckily, she can try and get rid of this guy. And since she's got all of her stuff back, let's go ahead and do the same thing we did last time she walked into a room and start off with her Strength of the Mountain skill. I'm showing this to the wrong camera. Her Strength of the Mountain skill, which is the element of Earth, which gives her 2 extra attack dice on an unarmed attack. So she throws a fist powered by the Strength of the Mountain at the Chaos Warrior, hitting it with a 1. Okay, fair enough, whatever. But it doesn't block it. Okay. That's okay. So we take 1 damage right there for that guy. Justin says, Toby wanted to stay up and watch you stream last Friday, and I told him he could, but he said Sarah would make him go to bed. Oh. That would have been interesting to see what he thought of a stream. Bohemian says he uses all the original sandbox elements in Hero Quest, but uses them all together. Elf spells, crafting potions. Nice. Yes. That makes sense. I've got the elf spells too. I may have mentioned this once before. So eventually, in fairly near the beginning of the Mage of the Mirror, when we get to that, I'm going to introduce the rogues, and the rogues have the elf spells. So I wasn't quite sure yet what I wanted to do with the elf spells, and then eventually that's kind of what I landed on, was maybe the elf spells are like ancient royal elven magic that just your average elf doesn't know about, but the rogues are the heirs of, I kept the name Athelorn instead of Elithorn. The rogues have access to that magic, so that's where I put the elf spells. I've also got the spells of darkness, protection, and detection, which are going to be accessed through skill sets. Justin says, I'll show him a VOD sometime. I don't imagine he would stay interested longer than 5 minutes. He's a busy guy. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Bohemia says to use spells and shoot through a friend. They added a special ability in Wizards of Morcar. Oh, okay. Is that one of the boons of heroism that you can get, is being able to shoot through a friendly character? I've just always played it that way, honestly. It didn't make any sense to me to not let them do that. Okay, that was Paya's turn. So we are now at Valyria, who is yet again carrying a pocket full of gold. Let's see if she can do something useful with it instead of dropping it this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. She only rolled 4, so she made it to the door, but she can't walk through it. So also for the second time, she got a pocket full of gold and then got a garbage dice roll. Morkai, also up here in this area and kind of in trouble. Let's see what he can do here. He's still got plenty of useful spells, including that Veil of Mist spell, which could get him out of there if he starts getting low on health. But let's see if he can blast through one of those guys just with his wizard staff. Sorry, not the wizard staff, his staff. He is swinging his wooden staff at the orc that he's already pointing at. He hits the orc with a 1. And the orc does not defend. All right, that's going good. Gohan says, is that like a pocket full of sunshine? Yeah, I suppose it would be. Justin says it kind of makes sense depending on the spell. Really, I'm just a whiner. That's fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I've always, in my mind's eye anyway, I imagine that the hero like moves out of the way or ducks or something. But maybe that's a little weird. But that's kind of how I always pictured it, was that the heroes can communicate among each other and yell duck or move or something like that. What else can we get Morkai doing up there? Probably his best bet is to just use Rock Skin. Ball of Flame might be a little bit of an overkill on orcs. Although they are getting near to the end of the quest, to be totally honest with you. So we should use the Ball of Flame at some point. Maybe if he's getting a little desperate. For now, I think let's have him cast his Rock Skin, just to give him a little bit of a boon in defense, because he knows he's going to get hit by both of those guys. So this is going to give him 1 extra defense dice until he takes damage next. Justin says, in D&D, your party will just take damage too. Yeah, that's the way to go. Some people are really irresponsible with the spell Fireball. I bet. I bet. Yeah, that might be a little bit more real if you were to have some chance that if you're casting a spell or firing a long-range weapon through a friendly party that they didn't move in time and take a little damage. I don't think I would implement that, but it would. It is a little bit more realistic to think in terms of that. Okay, monster's turn. We have got a few things going on here. We're already pointing at Mordecai, so let's get that taken care of. We're going to have that orc that's right next to him attack. It swings its sword and misses. Good. And then we've got 1, 2, 3. This other orc is also here. That orc swings his sword, hitting Mordecai with a 2. Again, Mordecai is benefiting from his Rock Skin spell. So let's see what he defends. Oh, he only defended 1. That drops him to 7 body points and destroys his Rock Skin spell. So he didn't really get the benefit from it all that well. Okay, moving on. We are also over here in the room of undead with Hogard. This skeleton right here can swing its scythe at him, hitting him with a 1. Hogard's got pretty good defense naturally, but he doesn't defend it. This only drops him to 8 body points. He's still plenty good. We also have 1, 2, 3, 4, the mummy right here. This mummy throws a fist at Hogard, hitting him with 1. He does block that one, but just barely. And then, of course, we've got the skeleton archer right here, who fires off an arrow, hitting Hogard again with 1. And Hogard defends. Good. Okay, one more thing to do here with the monster's turn. We've got this Chaos Warrior in here with Pyle. Let's see if we can get a little closer to this. I know this stand really dislikes getting close. It might have something to do with the charging cord. Let me make an adjustment here real quick and see if that lets us get closer. The springs still push us back a little bit. Okay. Anyway, the Chaos Warrior swings its axe at the monk, hitting her with a 2. She defends 1 and takes the other. Oh, right, I forgot she's still really low on health. This drops her to 4 body points. Now she's got a Twisting Torrent she could use to cancel damage again, but we really need to keep an eye on her so that she can run away if she needs to. Okay, that is the end of the monster's turn, so we need to go back over to Hogard. Here he is. Now, I'll tell you what we can do. Again, being that there's probably no help coming for him, we're going to let him drink his Heroic Brew. This is the only item he has in his inventory. So we're going to put that in the treasure discard pile, erase it off his chart. What the Heroic Brew does is allow him to attack twice as 1 action. So he can, theoretically, get rid of or at least damage both of these monsters. Let's hope he can at least get rid of the skeleton. So let's send the attack at the skeleton first. Hogard swings his broadsword, hitting the skeleton with a 2. And it does not defend. Good. And then we'll let him go ahead and use his other attack on the mummy. Now, he'd have to get really lucky to kill this thing in one shot, but it's certainly possible. Hogard swings his broadsword, hitting the mummy with a 2. Okay, so if the mummy doesn't defend anything here, it will indeed be dead. Oh, but it defends 1. Okay. Blocked 1, took 1. So still, definitely a worthwhile turn. He does still have a second action, but there is nothing left to do in the room. It's not really to his benefit to move anywhere. Nothing else we need to search for. Justin says, broadsword in all caps, LOL. So yeah, probably broadsword, am I right? Is that's got to be the reference there.
That's what I mean to get
The broadsword. And we've also cast Flower of Wrath a bunch of times. Oh, that video. That video is fantastic. Okay, that brings us over to Paya. So she is over here, in here with the Chaos Warrior. Can she do anything? Let's see, Eye of the Storm's not gonna help her any. Yeah, right at the moment, just hitting the guy and hoping she can get rid of him is probably her best bet. He says that's what I was getting at, yeah. Oh man, so many quotes from that video. I know a lot of people were asking him a lot to make another funny video about the newer Hero Quest, and he said he was going to, but he never did. He did make a predictions video about the new Hero Quest right before it was released. So when we knew it was going to happen, but we didn't know much about it yet, he made a predictions video that was also funny, and he got some predictions right. I don't remember a lot of what he said, but he hasn't made a video since, so I wonder if he's still planning to, or if he isn't. Make sure I'm doing her right. Yes, indeed. Paya sends a fist flying at the Chaos Warrior, hitting it with a 1. It does not defend. Good. That means she's landed 2 hits on it. Still not dead, but she's getting it down. She can... Yeah, there's no point in searching for traps. She could, but there's no point. She stepped on every relevant square and it wasn't trapped. Full transparency, there's no traps in this quest. I mean, you're not supposed to tell the heroes that, but there's no traps in this quest. They must have figured out that there's enough going on without that also. Plus they know, I mean, your average hero isn't going to be able to get rid of traps. Usually it's just a dwarf. Maybe some other heroes got a toolkit, but since they're forcing the heroes to go away from each other, I imagine that's probably part of the decision making. We are now at Valerna, the elf. Let's see, which camera can we send over there to her? Let's do this one. With her pocket full of sunshine, she's only rolled a 3. Let's see where she's teleporting to. She's going to room number 6, which they've gone to a whole bunch of times. That is this room over here. So that's 1. Our next teleportation is room number 11, which is, oh, this is interesting. This is actually the first time we've hit this. Just tank the traps, yeah. So room number 11 is where Mordecai is. The problem with this is that there's an orc standing in that square. As I mentioned, there's a couple of really weird rules in this. Let me read you what happens when somebody gets landed on. If that square is already occupied, they will land on the hero or monster in that square. The landed on hero or monster loses 1 body point, and if still alive, is then teleported to a different room. If the same square's number is rolled, roll again. The first teleported hero remains on the square and continues their turn. So interestingly, just in moving into this room and landing on this orc, she kills it. So that's got to be a funny situation. She flies in through the door, hits that orc, obliterates it to pieces, and just kind of gets up and brushes herself off. Oh, Bohemia says you should see also the video made by Amalgamash. Definitely need to check that out. Justin says squish, yes. I need to remember that and look that up. Gohan says, or in other words, super dead. That's a good way to super dead a monster, I would say, just landing on it. She must have, like, I don't know, she had her sword in her hand or something and it was just poking out at the right angle that when she fell through the door, it stabbed the guy through the chest. That's the way to go. And that was, I mean, that was an action, but it was moving. She didn't attack it. She killed it because she landed on it. So technically she can attack the other one. That's funny, because in all the times I've played this quest, I've had the heroes land on each other, but I don't think I've ever had them land on a monster. So that is pretty hilarious. Okay, yeah, let's have her fire at the other guy. Why not? Valerna sets an arrow into her short bow and fires at the orc, hitting it with a 2. And the orc does not defend, which means that quite by accident, Valerna's walked in here and cleared the room. Gotta love it when you kill a monster by accident. And that leaves us with Morkai. So we're actually already pointing up there. Morkai, who was just a second ago totally surrounded by orcs, is probably like, oh, all right, thanks. Let's have him search for treasure, and then we'll get him out of there. You know what I forgot about, though? I just suddenly realized this. We let her attack. That means she let go of the gold. So, whoopsie-daisy. If she landed on an orc hard enough to kill it, she probably dropped the gold. So even before we had her attack, that was probably the way to go. Let's see what Morkai finds in this room. Morkai found a Wolf's Bane potion. So kind of like the Potion of Warmth, this is not very handy right now. So this will come in handy in one of the later books, but we are far enough away from that right at the moment that probably we should just sell this at the end of the quest. There is a monster later on that can turn the heroes into werewolves, and then having this potion is one of the only ways that they can get rid of that. Oh, Justin clipped the squish. I was wondering if you were going to. That's fantastic. Yeah, did you miss that? Valerna just walked in the door and landed on a monster hard enough to kill it. Yeah, it's in the. You must have been, yeah. Okay, where are we at? Morkai search for treasure. He can leave now. There's only one room in this quest the heroes haven't been to yet. So obviously he's gonna go 1 and step on the square in front of Valerna, then head through the door. So we'll just do that 1, and then let's see where he goes. He's going to room number 4. Oh good, that's the one room they haven't been to yet. That's lucky. Okay, that particular room is this big blue room right here. The door is here. Gohan says, just sitting there, then dead. Yeah, that orc was probably like, this is the best day ever. I've been stuck in this castle for years, bored. At least I got my buddies here with me, but we haven't been able to get out of here. Finally a hero shows up and they're like, cool, food, we can kill this guy and eat him. And then suddenly another hero crashes through the door and his ghost is floating away up from his body. Man, I thought this was the best day ever. Okay. And yeah, he did get out of there. In a matter of speaking, he did finally get out of there. In the room here with Morkai is a couple of wasteland orcs. Let's see. Orc there. Orc there. Justin says, reminds me of Dungeon Crawler Carl. He squishes a lot of guys and the AI overlord loves it. The AI has a foot fetish. Oh, I wish I had more time for reading. It sounds like I definitely need to read these books. Gohan says, either way, no work tomorrow. Yeah, that's the way to go. Oh man, now see that reminds me of some stuff I used to say when I worked at Whirlpool, the KitchenAid factory. I used to tell the other guys that were up in packing near where I worked that we should go rob a bank, because either way, we don't have to come to work tomorrow, right? Either we successfully rob a bank and we're all rich and we can go live our lives, or the cops show up and shoot and kill us, we don't have to go to work, or the cops show up and take us to jail, we don't have to go to work. So regardless of the outcome of that situation, we don't have to go to work anymore. Okay, yeah, Morkai can't do anything else. He's already done, his other action was searching for traps. There's no reason to move him into the corner because there's only 2 monsters in here anyway. We will leave him right there. Okay, monster's turn. We've got just about everybody but Valerna, which seems to be happening a lot in this quest. Valerna is getting really lucky that she's not getting hit by monsters. Yeah, she's only taking a couple damage. Everybody else is starting to get pretty beat up. Let's go ahead and take care of Morkai since we're right here. Again, both of these orcs are wasteland guys, so they have higher defense, but normal attack. They're just slow, but that's not really going to affect them here. The wasteland orc swings its cleaver at Morkai. hitting it with a 1. Hitting him with a 1. Mordecai does not defend. This drops him to 6 body points. We then have the other orc here. This Wasteland orc swings its sword, but misses. Okay, what else do we have going on here? Right over here, we have a Chaos Warrior attacking Paya. Again, she's pretty low on health, so we need to keep in mind that she's got that Twisting Torrent she can use if this hit is really bad. The Chaos Warrior swings its axe, hitting her with a 2. It's not quite so bad. She blocks 1, but not the other. This drops her to 3 body points. Justin says, Whirlpool sounds horrible. My mom worked there for a moment and had nothing good to say. She doesn't have much good to say in general, but Whirlpool got a lot of extra hate. Yeah. The job paid really well, and that's about the best thing that you can say about it. I can't tell you how many years of guitar playing I probably lost in my hands, because that job was very, very fast-paced. The line that I was on, I think I might have mentioned this on a stream once before, the line that I was on produced 803, it's been several years since I worked there, so that number's a little fuzzy, but I'm pretty sure it's 803 mixers every day. And this was one of the higher end mixers. This wasn't even like the classic mixer you find in Walmart. This was one of the like restaurant grade mixers. And we produced, if we weren't working overtime, we produced 803 of those every single day. That line was designed to produce a mixer every 34 seconds. So regardless of what station you were on in the line, you had 34 seconds to do. And that was what they called optimized, which means you were not supposed to have time to even scratch your butt. You had to do that job, and your hands better be doing that job every moment of the 34-second cycle over and over for the whole shift. No thank you. Not sad that I'm gone. Okay, last bit of monster's turn here. We got the Mummy attacking Hogard. The Mummy swings a fist, hitting Hogard with a 1. Which he defends, even though he had a dice land weird. He's definitely defended that. We also have a Skeleton Archer shooting an arrow at Hogard. Oh, come on with the dice landing weird. What's going on with that? Also hitting him with a 1. Which he defended, but just barely. Okay, that took care of our monster's turn, and... Oh, Gohan says that sounds terrible. Yeah, that is no kidding. Yeah, that job was very hard on the hands. And I say this, but I feel like this is most jobs. Most of the people in charge were just dumb. And that sounds mean, and it is, but yeah, they weren't even like maliciously dumb. They were just dumb. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Yeah. So you'd say pretty often a supervisor might come around. You'd say something to them, and they just kind of blink at you like you spoke a different language.
Logic is not meant for me.
Very frustrating. Justin says, I think Adam is an electrician out there now. Yeah. And if he's in maintenance, he's got a cushy job. Because let me tell you, the number of times I saw maintenance come out, a machine would go down, and they'd gather like 6 maintenance people who would all just kind of stand there tapping their foot with their hands on their hips, just kind of shaking their heads. And there maybe one guy is working on the machine while the other 5 just kind of stand around scratching their chin. One guy might have a blueprint, but most of them weren't doing anything. That was the job to have. Okay, Hogard's turn. He's first, so he can hopefully get rid of these guys, or at least that mummy. Hogard swings his broadsword at the mummy, hitting it with a 2. The mummy does not defend. That actually would have killed the thing at full health. It was slightly damaged. Yeah, we can take a look. Let me finish a turn real fast though, so that I don't lose where I am. Hogard does have a second action, but there's really nothing he can do. Yeah, we can move him over here. I guess we should roll for that. That was 3 spaces. Yeah. The skeleton's still going to run away from him and shoot, but... Justin says he seems happy. Happier than at Fram anyway. We all hated Fram. Yeah, that makes sense. Dude's flying planes is a hobby now. I saw pictures of that. Yeah, that is wild. Okay, Paya. Paya is in here with the Chaos Warrior. Let's see. That guy only has 1 body point left, so if she can get lucky, she can get rid of him. She swings her wooden staff at the Chaos Warrior, hitting it with 1. Wish she would have got a little more than that. And it blocks. Oh man, I really thought she had him. Is there anything she can do about that? Nope. No. No, the only other thing she could do is run away. All right. She only has 3 body points left, though. That may actually be what we want her to do, because that guy could very easily land 3 hits on her and kill her, and we don't want that. Yeah, I think that's probably what we ought to do. I hate to have her run away, but just so that we don't have her killed, let's go ahead and do that. So 1, and then let's see where she's teleporting to. She's pretty safe just about no matter where she goes. She's going to, oh no, room 5, 2. If she wastes every one of these movements. Okay, room 7 is 3. And then 4. We're gonna make it so that she's not standing in front of the door. But she's theoretically safe in there for now. Now that Chaos Warrior can follow, but it's gonna get teleported to a random room also. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right, so we are now at Valerna, who is up here in the corner. See where she's going. She's got 6 on her movement, so her first teleportation is room 5. 2. Okay, she's got all of her spells left and way more health though, so this is actually really good. Means the Chaos Warrior is not going to be following. Let's go ahead and have her cast her Genie spell. So she has a really powerful, or theoretically powerful, offensive spell here that she can use. We're not even looking at it. There we go. So Valerna is going to conjure a Genie. She directs it at the Chaos Warrior, and the Genie immediately attacks it. See what kind of damage it gets. It manages to hit the Chaos Warrior with 2. That's still decent considering that guy's only got 1 health. It blocks 1, but not the other, so she was indeed able to take it out. That was actually a really lucky switch out. Okay, and that leaves us with Morkai. We don't need to switch cameras, he's just up here. Who is hanging out with a couple of Wasteland Orcs and needs to get rid of those guys. He's got a couple of spells left at his disposal that will help him out. Let's see if he can get rid of at least one of them by attacking. Morkai swings his staff at the Wasteland Orc. Which one is he attacking, by the way? The one he's facing. Hits it with a 1. That's enough to kill it if it doesn't defend. Okay. Aw, it defended the attack. Alright, we're pretty much near the end of the quest. Let's have him get rid of his spells here. He is going to go ahead and cast Ball of Flame on the other guy. So a large ball of fire appears at Morkai's fists. He directs it at the orc, who is immediately engulfed in flames. The orc attempts to throw the flames off and manages to a little bit, but not enough. He dies before he is able to put the fires out. At least he got rid of one of the guys. All right, monster's turn. We have only a little bit left here. So Wasteland Orc on Morkai. Take care of that. The orc swings its sword at the wizard, but misses. And then on the other side of the map, this skeleton archer is going to move back and fire an arrow at Hogard. Hitting Hogard with a 1. Which Hogard defends. Very nice. Okay, we're at the end of a turn now. Savannah's got some stuff painted. Let's take a look at that real fast. Ooh. Okay, so if any of you tuned into her stream, you will have saw her painting Tiaga the Warlock. Go Hannah to enjoy this. She has finished Tiaga. I gotta keep the hand behind her, I keep forgetting. Nice. Yeah, I like the green tips on the fingers. That was kind of a nice thing. And then with the magic on the wand down there as well.
I think this one's That's one of my greatest accomplishments right here.
Oh, she's saying that the demon form mini is her greatest accomplishment.
One of them.
One of her greatest accomplishments. We'll put Tiaga over here. I kind of hope she goes on tomorrow's quest now. Oh boy. Yeah, yeah. All right. Check out demon form. So we got red and black with kind of green highlights, which matches Tiaga's green highlights as well. Oh yeah. All like the black cracks inside there. I would not want that thing coming at me. I don't know about you guys. That's pretty wild. What do we got? Oh man, we got a lot of comments to cover. First off, Bohemia says, nice. And Justin says, that looks awesome. Yeah, I hope Tiaga goes on the quest tomorrow. I want to use her now. What do we got? Okay, what else we got? Justin says, so a Death Clock show got cut short because their smoke machine set off fire alarms at an outdoor venue. It sounded like something that would happen in the show, except no one died. Yeah. In the cartoon, the smoke would have probably choked people or something. Yeah. Yeah, totally true. Bohemia says, great job.
Thank you.
She says thank you in case the mic didn't pick that up. Yeah. I'm so glad that some of these are getting painted now, because it's so different looking at the minis and seeing them as something other than just plastic on the board. That's really neat.
Giving them life now.
Yeah. All right, so this might actually be the last turn of the quest, because we've only got a couple monsters left. So let's get this taken care of. Okay, Hogard. Now he's got a crossbow, but I kind of feel like, again, a dwarf is a little bit more likely to just kind of run at the problem, right? 1, 2, 3. He swings his broadsword at the skeleton archer, hitting it with a 1. And it does not defend. Nice. Now he moved and attacked, so that's the end of his turn. We do need to have him search for treasure, but that is all for him. That gives us Paya, who kind of ran away because she was at low health, but now that we're down to almost no monsters, let's go ahead and see if she can get somewhere useful. 1. She's going to room 6. That seems to be where everybody goes. 2. Room 8 is the treasure room. 3. Oh, I did not do a good job of getting that on camera. 4, 5, 6, 7. Allowing her to put 5,000 coins into her pocket. This is going to take us over to Valerna. Oh yeah, she's on camera. She's down here. Before we move her, she can search that room for treasure. Let's do that. Bohemia says brutal. Yes. Let's see what she searches for treasure there. She finds, tucked into the toe of an old boot, you find a gem worth 35 gold coins. Nice, the classic 35 coin text there. What's that gonna put us up to? 225. And then she can move. 1. She goes to room 7. That puts her in the central room. So 2. Let's switch cameras and move this. That was her right there. 2. That is room 10, which is the original Chaos Warrior room. 3. Oh boy, this is gonna be frustrating. 11 puts her in this upper room. 4. See, this right here is probably why HeroQuest didn't let them do this multiple times. Room number 3. 5. Right? Am I counting that right? That was her 5th one, right? Okay. Yeah. Room number 9 puts her in Hogard's room. 6. Now this room hasn't been searched for treasure, but she doesn't have an action left, so we'll go ahead and let her leave again. Room number 9 again. 7. Only 2 moves left, all right. Room number 2 puts her back in the stairs room. Now, I'd leave her there, but most players are trying to get back to the treasure room, right? So 1 more movement. Puts her back in room 9. There we go. All right. Just as I think it's funny after all these years, Death Clock is my favorite band. Hey, if you like it, you like it. There's something about it that speaks to you. Makes sense to me. Okay, Morkai. This is the last monster on the board, Morkai. Can we get rid of this guy? Oh, let's do something special here just because, just to see. He's gonna start his turn by casting the sleep spell on this orc. If the orc does not throw this off, this means he will get to attack it and it cannot defend, which theoretically means he should kill it. But there's a couple of things that could go wrong here. First off, the orc gets an immediate try at throwing this off. So let's check and see. Wasteland Orc Mind Points are 2. So we're gonna roll movement dice here, and if one of these dice is a 6, the spell doesn't work. Okay, the orc is asleep. That means it can't defend, which means he can go ahead and hit it with his staff. So as long as he doesn't miss a sleeping monster, it's dead. Ah, critical hit of 2. Well, there you go. That's the way to go. Getting rid of a sleeping monster. Let's go ahead and pretend that Morkai has an amazing singing voice and he lullabied it to sleep. Or maybe we shouldn't. That would make him more like a bard class, wouldn't he? Okay, again, that room needs search for treasure, but he's out of actions, so we do need to do 1 more turn, but that is all the monsters on the board. And then we will talk about quest ending stuff. So jumping back over here to Hogard, this room also needs search for treasure. So we'll go ahead and let Hogard do that. Let's see what he finds. Hogard found a potion of strength. Awesome. This gives the heroes a temporary boost of 2 extra attack dice just for the next time they attack. So we'll put that in his inventory to use at a later date. And then we'll go ahead and let him move. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he can't make that 5th move because Valerna is standing in the way. Paya the monk is up there with the gold. Now, to avoid the end of this quest just being a bunch of us watching stuff teleport around, let's go ahead and jump back to Morkai so we can get that treasure search. So we can do some theoretical stuff here. Morkai is going to go ahead and treasure search this area, which should mean every room on the map was searched for treasure. Yes, that is true. Let's see what Morkai finds. Oh no! For the second time this quest, while you are searching, a hidden arrow shoots from the wall and strikes you. You lose 1 body point. Poor Morkai. He's the only one who drew trap cards. Justin says Morkai went into a lecture about the fundamentals of hand signs while casting, and the monster conked out, and out of anger, Morkai ended it. Yes. Perfect. That's so much better than what I said. That is exactly what happened. We're canonizing that right now. Okay, so we could do a bunch of rolling right now. We absolutely could do just a whole bunch of rolling to get all of the heroes into the treasure room and then back to the stairs. There's no more monsters. There's no more chance for monsters, which means they would all theoretically get 5,000 coins and then come back. So again, we could do that. It would take the rest of tonight and also all of tomorrow night's stream to do that. So let's not do that. But we can totally assume that given an essentially infinite amount of time, they would all get there, grab the gold, and all get back to the stairs. Here's the thing though. The quest is over when all of the monsters are killed or when all 4 heroes have returned to the staircase. When the game is over, tell the heroes. We'll go back to a camera so that you guys can see. Tell the heroes that all the gold found at the mine entrance is fool's gold and is worthless. Any other treasure found is real. So maybe we were about to get 2,000, or what did I say, not 2,000, 5,000 apiece gives us 20,000, right? 20,000 gold the heroes think they're walking out of here with. Nope, it's all fake. Sorry. So that's another reason we're not going to spend the rest of tonight rolling to get them there and then back. However, all the rest of the stuff is real, and you know, we can still give them gold and everything else. Justin says, after the Chaos Warrior chest, I'm not surprised. Yeah. I wish I could go back and relive the moment of Savannah playing this quest, because I don't know that I've ever seen somebody so disappointed in my entire life. So, like, betrayed and disappointed.
And mad.
And angry, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so the heroes do still get their 50 coins per surviving hero, so they get their 200 coins. Now this only puts us up to 425. So we're low on coins, but we're getting the heroes outfitted pretty well, so that's probably not really an issue. So let's go ahead and clean up unused skills and spells. Oh, those should go over there too. We did use most of the spells. Mordecai used everything but his Veil of Mist. Now, Valerna didn't use her Heal Body or her Fire of Wrath, but that's not too big of a deal. She used her Genie to pretty good effect. And then we'll get all the potions and artifacts gathered up for our hero pile, and then we're going to go ahead and let him sell that Wolf's Bane. Bohemia says Baker's still laughing after 30 years. Yeah, he has to be. He must like get a little tickle on the back of his neck every time somebody anywhere in the world plays this quest.
Yeah. You know the wizard that was missing? He's not missing, he's in hiding.
Yeah, yeah. Savannah says Ollar, the wizard that made this castle, just went into hiding. He's not missing. He was so embarrassed that he just went into hiding. We actually had a chance to run into him, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw this when I was showing the quest map up on the board. But if they drew a Wandering Monster card, which just so happens that we didn't, but if at any point they had drawn a Wandering Monster card, his ghost appears. So Ollar's ghost appears, chuckles madly, and disappears. So canon, he's dead, but his ghost is apparently wandering around the castle making fun of people, which is pretty funny. Let's sell this Wolf's Bane potion. We're not going to need that. Oh, well, this is the skill set papers. We're going to need those too, but that's not the thing I was trying to get a hold of. Wolf's Bane potion's going to net us 75 extra gold coins. I have a feeling I know what you guys are going to say, but let's leave this up to you guys too. Do we sell the Ring of Return or should we keep it? I feel like based on what Bohemius and Justin were discussing earlier, the answer is going to be keep it. But I'll leave that up to you guys. I think I want to sell it, but honestly, I didn't even give it that big of a gold coin. Like, we're not even going to get that much gold for selling it. The Wolfsbane potion, however, we can definitely get rid of. We're not going to need that, and we're recycling it back into the treasure deck where it can be found again later when it's more useful. Selling that's going to put us up to 500 coins. Justin says all the monsters wandered over to my game. Yeah, honestly, the way you're doing this, sell it. You may not get the right random choice to use it anyway. That's very true. I'll leave it up to you guys. If everybody says sell it, then we'll sell it. If there's enough people saying keep it, we can keep it, because we can sell it later too. It's not like we have to sell it right at the moment. Of the many things that I changed, I also created an inventory for the heroes. They have 15 slots in their inventory, and each slot can hold 2 perfectly alike items. So, you know, one slot could hold 2 potions of healing or 2 potions of strength. But once those slots are full, they can't carry other stuff. So they have to get rid of stuff if they want to carry more. And the Ring of Return would take up one of those slots. So we could play it like if a hero, whatever hero got it, I don't even remember who got it. If whatever hero runs out of inventory space, that's the first thing they chuck. We could play it like that and it wouldn't hurt anything, and then we've got it if we need it. Either way, honestly, works totally fine. We're only getting 80 coins for it if we sell it, so it's not even that like it's a huge amount of sellback value. Okay, 4 skill sets and doing all of that stuff. Hogard. Hogard did really well this quest. Everybody did, honestly, since we had to get separated. Excuse me. Since they were forced into being separated, everybody kind of had to pull their own weight. So Hogar did really good. It was really good for him to be the one to walk into the kind of swarm rooms, being that he has the best defense. He can get surrounded and it not really be that big of a deal for him. He didn't even get damaged that much, probably thanks to that pretty good amount of defense. Let's see what he's going to get for skill sets here. His first point is going to be Constitution level 3. Now that is nothing, but he is going to get another body point at level 4. And his second point is going to be Machinery level 3. Let's see if that's anything for him. No, but level 4 is going to unlock the Danger Sense skill, which is an explorer skill, but the dwarf can get access to it. Okay, that's going to do it for him. Again, really enjoyed playing with him now that he's painted. Paya. I feel like we are seeing Paya a lot. And she also did really good. For the first time in the history of me playing a monk character, we used the meditate feature. I've actually never done that before, so that ended up working out, and she utilized it. She also, it's neat that she actually used all of her monk skills and needed to get them back. So that really made her being the one in that Chaos Warrior room kind of a worthwhile thing to watch. Let's see what she's got going on here for skill sets. First off, she is taking Education level 2, which is going to give her an extra mind point. That bumps her up to 5 mind points total. There we go. That was only her first point. Yes, it was. Okay, her second point then is going to be... Oh, come on. Draw a card we can use. Magic Memorization level 2. That's probably not a whole lot for her, I imagine. No, she doesn't get anything there until Memorization level 4. Okay. This also, out of interest, was her 5th quest, making her the most experienced hero we have right at the moment. Okay, and then Valirna. Now, Valirna did, I'd say, less than everybody else on this quest, but she was the first one to find the gold mine. And now that was useless, but we didn't know that at the time. So, you know, she wasn't necessarily wrong for really trying to get that stuff. Oh yeah, she's the one that ended up with the Ring of Return there too. So still, good performance. She saved the day when Paya had to run away from that Chaos Warrior. She is going to take Combat level 1, which is nothing yet, but at level 2 she'll get an increase on base attack. And also, she is taking Constitution level 4, which is another body point. So this is going to put her up to a max of 12 body points. So she is going to be really useful on quests as far as just like kind of tanking hits. This was, oh, I guess, you know what, technically this was her 5th quest as well. So she's been on 4 in the Coming Storm book, but she was also one of the heroes that went on the introductory quest, the Trial. So her and Paya are both really experienced heroes. We're probably going to have to start counting skill set points before we go into a quest. We shouldn't have anything that triggers Forest Monsters. Sounds like a kid woke up. Yeah, somebody's crying. Okay, and then finally, Morkai. This was his first quest, and again, fantastic performance for a first ever quest. Used up pretty much all of his spells. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, I haven't even marked down the randomized numbers for his skill set stuff. Let's go, I'm gonna mark that real quick. Okay, his first skill set point is gonna be Magic Skill level 1. Probably nothing even for a wizard, but wizards do get more stuff there than anybody else. Okay, yeah, he actually doesn't get anything until level 4 there. And then his second point is going to be Constitution level 1. Also nothing, but Constitution level 2 is an extra body point. So he is setting himself up very well. Awesome. Okay, I think we got it all done. You guys know the drill. Tomorrow night we are going to be back with Quest 11, which is kind of the last quote-unquote normal quest in this book before we kind of start dealing with final boss book stuff for at least this book. There are 14 quests in this book, so we're really close to the end of it. As always, I really appreciate you guys hanging out. We're gaining a really solid crew, and you guys are here pretty much every time, and I really, really appreciate that. I really appreciate it. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate that, you guys. We got a new ending. So if you've hung out here till the end, we're gonna play our brand new ending here. Just as kind of an aside before we play this, I know I've said this before, but just in case, again, anybody is watching that hasn't said anything, and this is your first time watching Midnight Quest, all of the music that you hear during Midnight Quest is something that I've either performed or been involved with writing and producing. So the background music is kind of half and half between my band Afterwinter, where I'm the lead guitarist and one of the lead vocalists, and also the other half is my solo album Reclamation, where I played everything. And additionally, this is all acoustic instruments. So the drums aren't samples, those are acoustic performances. Everything in there, totally real. And the theme song is custom. So eventually, we're gonna have totally custom soundtrack that takes a long time to do when you're not programming anything. So it'll be a while before we get that, but that is definitely on the list as the goal is a 100% custom soundtrack. But to end us out tonight, we have a special video of the theme song. We will catch you guys tomorrow right here at midnight for the next quest. Thank you guys one more time for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Oh, Bohemia says he's painting. Yes, thanks for the company. Absolutely, man. I appreciate you tuning in every night. Glad you're getting some stuff done while we're also playing. All right, catch you guys tomorrow. Let me see if I can remember which button I'm supposed to hit. I think it's this one. See you guys later.